What would you point to as signs of the success of the campaign? What do you count as success?
Well, what I count as success is knowing the kind of pressure that we're putting on a company, the fact that 33 colleges and universities have kicked Coke off their campuses, the fact that many of the largest labor unions in the United States and Europe have removed Coke machines and banned the sale and distribution of Coke products at all their facilities and functions, and the fact that Business Week reported this August that the Coca-Cola company has lost 1% of the value of its brand name, which translates into a loss of $680 million. And I'll tell you why. Everywhere you go around the world, people are knowing the Coca-Cola company as Killer Coke. Not only because of the human rights violations in Colombia, but also because of the horrible things they're doing in India and Mexico, and the fact that they're helping to prop up the political regime in the Sudan.
Thank you for coming by. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it.
Ray Rogers is founder of KillerCoke.org. He will speak twice in town at Graham McEwen tonight at 5 and at the University of Alberta tomorrow from noon to 1:30 at Dinwoody Lounge. I should say we did offer the Coca-Cola company a chance to respond to Mr. Rogers' allegations. They chose not to return our calls. It is now 5 minutes before 4 o'clock.
Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here at the University of Alberta today. Now Coca-Cola is claiming just before last year's annual meeting, we have the prestigious International Labor Organization of the United Nations has decided to come in here and do a complete independent investigation, completely in their control, of the present and past labor practices of the Coca-Cola company. And if you have any questions about this, contact Miss Sally Paxton at the ILO. Now, this was last March, about a year ago. I called Sally Paxton at the ILO over in Geneva. And I said, so I want to find out some information on the investigation that the ILO is doing. And Mr. Rogers, we're not doing an investigation. And we are not doing any assessment of any kind about past and present labor practices. Okay, Ms. Paxton. Now, Coca-Cola keeps promoting that, in fact, the ILO is. So I go to the annual meeting, and I raise the issue with the CEO.
Mr. Rogers, I don't know who Ms. Paxton is, but what she said is not correct. We have a document, we have an agreement, and they're going to investigate past and prior practices. You're quoted as saying that it's a publicity stunt. I can't think that engaging the ILO is a publicity stunt. An organization which for 60 years has been held in the highest regard right throughout the world by labor organizations, by civil society, and by governments. And we think we've gone to the most credible people that can possibly be found in this world to look at what has happened in Colombia.
If we are speaking about fundamental labor rights, for instance, trade unions, it's very important that you have...
¿En qué va lo de la investigación sobre el caso de Coca-Cola?
El tema de Coca-Cola no nos ha llegado, ni de la oficina, ni del sector sindical, ni del sector de los empleadores. Realmente no tenemos, hasta ahora, no tenemos, esta representación no ha tenido intervención ninguna.
Pero ¿por qué Coca-Cola ha dicho, el presidente ha dicho de que ustedes están haciendo una investigación del asesinato de los trabajadores de Coca-Cola aquí en Bogotá?
Nosotros aquí no estamos haciendo ninguna investigación. La representación de la OIT aquí no.
If everyone thinks this is a nice, clean deal, why don't the ILO stand up with Coke and say, here's what we're going to do? And then we don't have to guess.
Right.
So that's one thing we're trying to provoke, if you will.
We wonder, though, oftentimes...
Well, that was a pretty typical call that I get pretty much several times a day from students around the country who are trying to work on their campaigns to make Coke accountable for what's happening on the campuses. That was the University of Michigan, which initially had a very successful campaign and got Coke removed. Now Coke has been reinstated by the administration based on, I believe, Coke's representation that the ILO investigation will in fact be fair and neutral and independent. And it's our view that that's impossible, that there is something that is cooked here if Coca-Cola was able to get the ILO to do an evaluation for them, particularly when Ed Potter is the director of Coca-Cola's global labor relations, but also is the U.S. employer representative to the ILO, which is a very, very powerful position.
¿Por dónde? Danko Malik. ¿Cómo estás?
Estoy muy feliz para verte.
Igualmente. ¿Cómo te fue en el vuelo?
Muy bien, perfecto. Perfecto. Estuvo
Very good.
The plan is to go visit a gentleman named Rafael Garcia. He's now in jail on his own corruption charges, but the key is that he has evidence in our case against the Drum and Coal Company. He witnessed Augusto Jimenez, the president of Drummond's Colombian operations, give a suitcase of money to a liaison for a very powerful paramilitary leader named Jorge Quarenta for use to murder union leaders at Drummond, the families of whom we represent.
Vámonos, antes de que avance.
¿Qué dijeron, hermano? Cuéntenme. Muy bien. It's incredible, man. This is like a... We got a signed declaration from this witness that we wanted, saying that he witnessed the president of Drummond's Colombian mining operations pay paramilitaries to kill two of the main leaders there, who were killed later. I think what's important is we now have smoking gun evidence. That's going to help workers at other companies like Coca-Cola. It's going to give credence to all these claims. Because people say, oh, that's crazy. That'll never happen. Well, it did happen. And it's important that we now have proof.
Listo, mi hermano. Un abrazo y saludos a la familia.
Gracias. Muchas gracias. Saludos.
Listo, mi hermano. Bueno, pues. Bueno, hermano. Listo, chino, listo. Bueno, hermano. Suerte, pues.
Gracias, hermano.
Bueno, pues. Que sí es el cliente, mucho.
Es increíble. ¿Cuál periodista?
Un periodista del Tiempo, lo llamó a él.
¿El Tiempo?
Sí, sí. Le dijo.
Fuck.
Es él.
Y va a escribir un periódico.
Sí, sí, sí.
Oh, man. Oh. El caso está cerrado.
Sí, sí.
Está bien que yo leo El Tiempo todo el día.
Sí, sí.
Mi periódico favorita. Hey, Terry. We've got a confirmation from El Tiempo, and they're going to do a story. Yeah. Terry, they're fucked. This is the guy I was going to talk at the hearing tomorrow about Luis Carlos Rodriguez, and I'm going to hold up the El Tiempo article. And there's going to be everyone there. Okay, Terry. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Of particular significance for today's hearing is that the process requires the paramilitary leaders to confess their crimes. And this has revealed serious allegations regarding the involvement of companies, including American ones, in funding illegal armed groups.